These are red flags in the talking stage. If you hate the dating world in 2023 and want to know how the hell you survive, then I don't know, clicking follow might just help you through that. Let's set the scene. You're talking to someone and they sound perfect. And then you get onto the topic of exes and they tell you that all of their exes were crazy. Horrible people, super controlling, red flag. Be very wary when somebody only ever has negative things to say about someone and doesn't ever address their role to play in it. Just remember, you're only hearing one side of the story. And this story just so happens to be coming from somebody who is trying to look their best self in front of you. If you do end up having the ex talk, ask them this question instead. What would you say you've learned from past relationships? If they struggle to give you an answer, especially one that's somewhat positive, run as fast as you can, because this person has some emotional maturing to do. Okay, second of all, if somebody tells you something along the lines of, oh, you're too good for me, you deserve better, you're so out of my league, baby, believe them. As much as it kind of sounds like one, this is not a compliment. They are insecure about themselves. That is them telling you from the beginning that they won't be able to give you what you need and deserve. Let's say for whatever reason this relationship does progress and they change their mind. These still are the people that are most likely to cheat. And with somebody that has lower standards or needs than you. Because as long as they're with you, they're always going to feel like they're not enough and that they can't provide the things that you need. Whereas with the person who has lower standards, they're going to feel more confident, they're going to feel more secure because they can meet that person's needs. So if somebody says any of these things, out the door, on to the next. And number 3, if someone tells you that they're not looking for something serious, especially when this is a guy because they really just say it how it is, believe them and don't see it as a quest to try and change their mind or fix them. I'm not saying this happens all the time, but it is so rare for people who are not looking for anything serious to wind up in something serious. Even if you do, for whatever reason, convince them and they change their mind, your standards and expectations are always going to be higher because you knew what you wanted and they did not. So do yourself a favor and let them go. These are signs you're more attractive than you think you are. Let's get into it. Number 1, people love to help you out and go the extra mile for you. If ever you find yourself in trouble, someone will always come through for you. Or you could be out in the day and be randomly gifted with things. My best friend gets this all the time. Free coffee, staff discount on items, complimentary desserts, the list goes on. So if this also happens to you, it's because you're attractive. Number 2, people always come to you for advice and your opinions on things. For some reason, people associate attractive people with people who have their shit together and have minimal problems. So oftentimes they look up to you, which is why they come to you for advice and your opinions on things, because you are attractive. And number 3, this one is so subtle, but if someone mimics your body language and or copies your style or your little sayings, you know, the little phrases you say, it's because you're attractive and they're trying to be more like you. These are things girls do when they like a guy. If you're new here and need all the dating tips you can get, then I suggest you click follow. Isn't that right, Moach? I think so. Number 1, if your first date does in fact go well, we will visualize our whole future with you. Kids, house, pets, car, it's like a whole game of mashup in there. And if ever we see you be good with like nephews, nieces, we may not even be together at this point and mentally we're thinking, he's gonna be such a good dad. And from that point on, we're envisioning our name with your last name, just to make sure it sounds right. And may or may not use apps that show us what our future child might look like. Number 2 is the soft launch with friends. If we like a guy and he has any form of social media profile that's public, we will do anything to postpone showing the committee, also known as the girls group chat. Because there's a very high likelihood that after doing so, we will get the ick and cut off all contact, which is a lose-lose for everyone involved. So to avoid this, we have in fact found a loophole. If we must show them his social media, we just have to say, he looks better in person. Photos just don't do him justice. So if she ever delays meeting her friends, now you know why. And number 3, whilst it might be common knowledge that we will stalk all of your social media profiles if you have them, There have recently been some advancements. If she doesn't want to let you know that she's an astrology girly, but really she is, all she's got to do is ask for your Snapchat. And then she'll know exactly what star sign you are. Next thing you know, she will be opening up Google and trying to find any site she can that says you two have great compatibility. She just wants to know what she's in for. And now, we can all thank Mark Zuckerberg for the creation of Threads. It is like gold dust in our hands. Not only do we get insight into your intrusive thoughts, we also now get to stalk your replies. Are there other girls in the picture? Who else exactly are you replying to? Just in plain sight, everything we need to know. Like, for example, if you happened to stumble across my Threads account, the @Chloe Taylor, you would find out a hell of a lot about me. It's times like these where I'm very happy I'm self-employed and don't have a 9-to-5 job, with a boss who absolutely would question me in the office kitchen about certain things I've chosen to share online. So there we have it, guys. Stay safe out there. And girls, impeccable work. These are conversation starters for your crush. Easy edition, okay? So no excuses. I'm going to create videos for different scenarios for this, so if you want to stick around for that and aren't already, then I suggest you click follow. Okay, first things first, we need to talk about Instagram and Threads because this is the new strategy. One of the easiest ways to start a conversation with someone on Instagram and let them know that you like them, which you can still very much do, is instead of commenting under their photo for everyone to see, send their own photo to them and then ask them a question or compliment them on it in their DMs. But now with Threads, this is where the strategy changes up a little bit. Now it's not just physical appearance you can compliment them on. On Threads, you're seeing their whole personality and their interests. And because it's intertwined with Instagram, you can still send them their thread post in a DM. Copy link, send it to them. If you agree with them, disagree with them, you can let them know. Or even if you want to just tell them that you found them funny or you relate to something, you can do that too. The best compliments are the ones that compliment you as a person, not the ones on your appearance. It shows the other person that you see more to them other than just what meets the eye. Okay, number 2, if you work together or go to school together, then this one is for you. At some point, there is going to be a work party or a house party. This is literally your perfect opportunity to jump in and message them. Just a quick, hey, are you going to this thing on Friday? Or whatever date it is. Or if the thought of a social gathering actually makes you squirm, if they're in one of your classes, ask them if they understood the homework. Or bring up an inside joke of something that happened on a meeting that you were both on, I don't know. After that initial message, it's going to be so much easier to continue a conversation with them. Asking them for help is going to make them feel special. And asking them if they're going to the same event as you, now you can make plans to meet them there and it's going to be so much easier to then start a conversation in person. Because you guys already spoke before and they're expecting you to be there. And number 3, if all of this sounds a little bit too scary for you, if they post on social media often, watch what they put on their stories about their interests. Like the story, and again you can reply with a witty comment on it. Let them know it's something you're interested in too. If you have no idea, just ask them a question. It shows you're interested. And if they don't post on social media, you can quite literally do the same if ever they're having a conversation where they're speaking about their interests. If you happen to overhear and it's convenient to do so, then you can join in with your 2 cents. Just promise me you read the room first before you do that and make the right call.